utility value intervention evaluation of student writing using natural language processing.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Afternoon to everyone. My name is Bapumelele. I'm a first-year PhD candidate under the supervision of Dr. Vukosi. So we are trying to introduce the concept for my PhD proposal. So I will just take you through it. Okay. This is just an overview of what I will be talking about, and let me just not waste time on it and just go through my presentation. So according to John Dewey, in keeping students interested in course content can be viewed as one of the critical factors that can improve student performance. So over the years, several interventions in the field of education have been deployed to find ways that can increase students' performance. And one of these interventions is utilitative intervention. This intervention is based on the acceptance model, model theory, and this theory states that motivation can be defined with two factors, which is the expectancy of the outcome and the value that one sees on the desired outcome. So the aim of this intervention is to try to improve students' utility by asking them to write about what they are learning connects to their lives. So the final aim of this is to make sure that students understand the course content or the course topic by like trying to reflect what does this how can I apply this to my daily life or surroundings. Doing so helps them to see the interest other than just learn. And yeah. So this intervention can be integrated into course pedagogy, whereby these principles of UVI will be added to your course pedagogy, and students will be asked to reflect on the assignments using this type of intervention. So it is very critical for this intervention to work. In order for this intervention to work, for students to write these assignments and try to find relevance of the course content and the surroundings, life, or the community. Currently, there are two strategies of UVI, and one is directly communicated UVI and self-regulatory UVI. So directly communicated is one that I can say is mostly used in schools, whereby a teacher tells a group of students why, let's say, doing maths or a certain maths topic is important in their life, and doing it will help them in their careers and so. But then this type of intervention has proven not to be so effective. Studies say that some students may not find the interest if someone is telling them the importance of a certain course topic, other than when they discover it themselves, which is why self-regulated intervention is becoming the most effective one. And this self-regulated, it's whereby students discover this importance of a certain course and the relation of a certain course by themselves and write the assignments as type of feedback. So I don't know my mic. Sorry, I will just try to explain in this diagram when you're trying to grade this intervention. Let's say you were using this principle in a certain course. How do you then grade UVI rate? So I will just take to number 1 and number 4. So this is in this section, the students, they were talking about muscles. So this student says, this is how muscle work. So such response does not show how much a student understands a certain topic. So we grade that as 0. Then for the last one, where you can see that a student describes specification between the course and the life the relation of their personal life or the surroundings. So he says, my friend uses muscles to play soccer. Now I understand how muscles build, and I know how to optimal train for soccer. So for this, we can grade that as a UVI rich, because we can see that a student does not only understand what muscle is, but then they see the application of muscle in the outside world. Sorry, I don't have a mic. So UVI has been tested in several fields, and the UVI has been tested in several fields, and the results show that UVI can be very effective for students with poor performance and students who lack confidence. So this intervention has shown to be very effective, especially for STEM subjects, where students try. The argument is that students at a certain age, they tend to uh, drop out on maths, on all the science students, those science topics, because they don't really understand. So trying to use this intervention, it helps students to continue doing science subjects. But then there is a problem with this. Implementing this intervention is time consuming. In order for people to give feedback, they need to understand a certain topic. Let's say maths, they need to have a deep understanding of maths. And the researchers also need to understand the principles of UVI in order to give informative feedback to students. So over the years, machine learning applications have been used to try to supplement the process of UVI grading. So machine learning methodologies such as random forest have been deployed to come with the solution. This one of the studies that has been conducted by Beta using random forest model. He was trying to identify the high quality of UVI in essay writing. So he obtained like 0.8 results, which is not a bad result. But then in his study, he says that even though machine learning can supplement human evaluation of this intervention, there is still a need of improving the existing models of machine learning, such that because machine learning cannot scale for a bigger scale, for bigger data. So if you've been conducting this intervention for a big data, so machine learning fails to account for that. And also the process of doing this is still time consuming, because we still need to do data labeling and data engineering and data coding before the training. So and the other problem is that there's still a very big problem to encounter for different genres. So currently, the only genre that is proven to be effective with these models is essay writing. So if a teacher used different genres like a letter, so machine learning is still really suffering from doing different genres beside essay and summaries. So we are proposing we are proposing sorry, we are proposing to improve the existing machine learning models by introducing deep learning for natural language processing. So this approach will improve the problem of scalability in terms of data for machine learning, and then in terms of data labeling, because with deep learning models, the machine learns features automatically. And then it also solves the problem of overfitting, which is also another problem that machine learning models are facing currently. So this is done using word embeddings, which present data using this like similarity of words in the data source. So deep learning models are proven to be very effective in large scale data, unlike the machine learning process. So We are proposing this approach to improve the existing models, and then we can then now, having these models deployed, we can then now try to use the UVI intervention in education and see what are the possible applications that UVI can do in education. One say that now that if we succeed to implement this reliable model using deep learning and machine learning, we can now be in a position of evaluating the effectiveness of UVI in an African content data, because this intervention has been done in countries like USA and UK, but there's like no much research that has been done in Africa. So having such a model that can decrease the time to mark will also help to implement this model and to evaluate the effectiveness of it in our country or in our continent. We can also apply it to coach students to use UVI principles in their daily life, and that will improve, that will encourage self-regulation learning. And lastly, teachers in general can use such a model to evaluate reflective writing at large, because other than this model being specified to UVI, it is still in general a model that will be used to evaluate writing, reflective writing. So such model can be beneficial for maybe Department of Linguistics for evaluating reflective writing. And we also, in terms of data, and we also talk to the Department of Linguistics, where we will be using them because we're trying to implement the rules of language in using machines. So there will be like a lot of interaction during the process where we try to analyze certain things in order to make our machine, our model to be more effective and reliable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bapumelele, sorry for that. And you are very brave to share your PhD research that you propose to do with us. Thank you very much. It was really interesting. I'm going to ask my colleague Jean-Claude to have a look at the chats again.
Thank you, Hester. Yes, first question from Herklaas Kombrink. Thank you so much for the powerful presentation. Technology within this context really highlights the strength of NLP in education. I want to understand if your point related to the use of NLP in the STEM subjects, are you suggesting that this could be applied to mathematics, for example?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Yes, it can be, because like I said earlier, this intervention has proven to be very effective in STEM subjects, so maths being part of it. And there is also a study that was done, I can't remember the name, but at the study they were trying to evaluate how this intervention can be effective in algebra. And this was not a traditional form of learning. They were trying to do this in an online learning platform, which also proven to be very effective to students who doesn't understand maths. But now when you try to say to students, instead of just calculating certain, try to find meaning and try to find value, and let's say use it to, I think one of the examples they were using, they were saying that I understand now how angles work, so I can use angles for building a building. So like such things. So that has proven to be very effective, because students now tend to have a deeper understanding of what a certain maths topic does, other than just like going to class and listening to angles and then go home. So they tend, when they do this intervention, they tend to discover more connection, which then increase interest of continuation in a certain study. So the argument is that in STEM, this intervention allows students to continue doing STEM subjects because they tend to find connection.
Thank you, Bapumelele. I think that answered Herklaas' question. Then Adelia Carstens just made a comment, a topic with huge potential for interdisciplinary collaboration. Is that something that you've done or planning to do? So I'm asking the question based on the...
Can you come again?
So Adelia just says there's huge potential for interdisciplinary collaboration. Is that something that you're planning to do?
Yes, it is something that we're planning to do. Like I said, that we have made requests for collaboration with the Department of Linguistics, where we're still trying to explain how they come in and how this will contribute to them and what they're going to benefit from it. So mostly now, because this is still like initial stages of the research, so we're trying to understand, the machine does the linguistic for us, but then now we also need people who have a deep knowledge of language. So when we do these models, we can then go to them to evaluate some things in order to say then our model is very reliable at large.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. And then Anthony Goodalls just says that he knows of a couple of people who are interested in this sort of study at the University of Pretoria. So I guess he will be in contact with you because he's asking in which department are you working, but I'm sure you can connect with each other.
Yes, sorry, computer science. Yes. So this is a computer science problem that we're also trying to find a way how can natural language processing help education.
Excellent. I don't see any further questions or comments. So Hesti, over to you.
Thank you, Jean-Claude, and thank you very much again for that very interesting presentation. Seeing that we have 2 minutes left, I'm going to share a link with you in the chat. This is to a YouTube video that our next presenter, Catherine Malherbe, would like for you to quickly go and watch. So as we are getting her presentation ready, I'm going to invite you to click on that YouTube link and just watch that short little video, and then we are going to be ready for you with our last presentation of this session.
To be in your homes today